Hello, welcome to Focus. I'm your host, Mark Warnock, and today we're here with Kristen Raish from the Enfield Public Library. Thanks so much for giving us some time to talk about the library.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I've been a library card holder since I was very young. I grew up in Enfield, so it's my local library, the one on Middle Road. I grew up off Raffia, so always would end up there. My mom would always drag us over there when we were getting too annoying, and she would drop us off at the library and be like, "Go." She would find a corner and read, and we'd, do our thing. But so the Enfield Public Library, tell us a little about what's going on at the library. What's new and exciting?
We have so many things at the library. We not only have, our programs which are going on constantly. We have multiple a week. We have them for all different ages. We have adult things, children's things. We have book clubs, concerts, you name it. We kind of have it. Bingo for books, open mic nights. We have all sorts of things. We also have some interesting special collections here at the library. So we have instrument lending, which is people can borrow our large collection of instruments. We have drums, djembes. We have violins, electric violins, guitars, electric guitars, ukuleles, dulcimers, a wide range of instruments that are available for borrowing. We also actually recently began an art collection. So if you want to try and dabble into something new like lino block printing or something like that, we have a kit that has all the tools and the materials in it so that you can try it without having to do the investment yourself. And so it's really fun. There's all sorts of different things. There's one that's flower press kits, so many different ones. And they're all available at the main library that you can borrow. Um, I am currently coming to you sitting here in our Zen booth, which is a small private study space that is very popular that you can borrow from the library. You can request to use at the library, and it's a nice, just quiet space to be away from others and do any sort of meetings or anything like this, like Zoom.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So there's so many things at the library. I know we could spend over plenty of time talking about everything that you got going on there. But you're actually the head children and teen services librarian. Tell us a little about what that entails and how you got involved in becoming that.
Well, it entails basically I am in charge of everything that is for children ages birth through 18. That includes all of our collections, our materials, our programs. I oversee all of that. I select all of the materials for that. Um, and I got here, I guess, because I worked at a smaller library when I was going to library school. And then from there, I decided to move up a little bit and go to a little bit of a bigger library. And here I am. And I love it. I love it. This is also coincidentally the town I grew up in and the library I came to as a child. So working here is amazing to me. Things have changed, but things are also somewhat so familiar. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like you said, you're from town too. How was it like? What made you want to become a librarian? Like, what was the thing that, like, you first, I mean, besides loving books, of course, probably the one main thing, but what was like the thing that you were like, you know what, I want to become this as my career?
Really helping people. You have to be a librarian, you really kind of want to be open to all people and helping people find what they need or just to get them what they want to. I personally love just opening children's minds to new and great things and helping them discover wonderful books or even film or anything that they really could be interested in. Yeah, I just decided that this was kind of what I liked. It was a nice happy medium between some things that might be helpful but not too stressful. But this is just a nice one. I love being a librarian.
And having all the access to all the books is also a plus.
Yes,
Like me and television, having access to all the video equipment is the bonus of being in
it
TV.
is, and
That kind
being
of thing.
able to, like, research all the things that I
Yeah,
want to know about
yeah,
is, like, oh my gosh, yes. That was, like, one of the big selling points was to learn how to do research in such a deep way that I could explore all the things that catch my fancy.
yeah. Like I'm going kind of off that. I'm a big not good school student, but a big research guy. I love the that kind of thing. So when I was growing up and they taught us about the Dewey Decimal System and all the categorization of everything and how everything was in its place and everything was I was like, oh, this is where I want to be. This is the place right here. So tell me a little about this month is Youth Literacy Month. Tell me a little bit about why youth literacy is so important.
Literacy for especially for children, obviously, but just literacy in general is extremely important. You can't undersell it. It affects every bit of a life. It touches everything. It it really it's a vital skill, and literacy proficiency, it affects all aspects of your life. Doing anything, people who have good literacy, they are able to get better jobs, to get more income. Their life expectancy is higher because they can do all the things that you need to do, how to access care, to figure out how to do that, how to take medication, how to when and how to get preventative care, how to participate in society, voting, how to gain voter registration or get an ID. All those things require literacy. And it is extremely important. And unfortunately, it does have a ripple effect. So parents who are not as well literate are not as capable of helping their children to become literate. So it's really super important.
Yeah, and I like growing up in my house, my mom was the big bookworm. She loved books. My sister's a huge bookworm. I not so much a bookworm, but I love comic books, and I went that direction. So, and I always tell like I think people don't realize that it's not just like you don't have to be like a book person and read
Oh,
like novels
no.
and all these things. There's so many different avenues that you could take this in, like comic books or any other type of stuff out there. So,
Oh, yeah. Literacy is not really just about enjoying books. It's really about being able to get by in life, being able
yeah.
to comprehend print and understand it.
Yeah. And that stuff like you guys is that kind of stuff you guys have at the library? Like if people might not realize that like the library is not just novels and research books and that kind of thing. It's also you guys have graphic novels and all the
Oh,
different type of things that kids are into now that can come check out.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Like entertainment and information, everything. We have graphic novels for all ages, children all the way, I have easy reader graphic novels for kids who are just starting out learning how to read in print. We have graphic novels that are geared toward them all the way through to adults, and all sorts of great adult collection books that are graphic novels. Yeah, and just information finding. Libraries are very much about that. It's not just books. We're about if you have a question, if you need to know something, you need to know how to do something. We have reference librarians here to help with that and anything else you might want.
Mhm. And I don't know if this, I can't remember if this is still a thing. I know when I was younger, they had this too. Even if you guys don't have it in your library, is there still the thing where if another library that's in your system has it, that they can ship it to you guys and then you can get it from there?
Absolutely. We do interlibrary loan. We do kind of two different kinds of interlibrary loan. We do things within our consortium. So we belong to a consortium, which is a group of other libraries in Connecticut. Um, there are 29 other libraries in Connecticut that we are grouped with, and we share back and forth with them really quickly and easily. But we can go statewide. So even if there's something that you really want that is just an obscure text that's somewhere like at the bottom of the state or Westport owns, we can ask them to send it and they will send it as well. And so we have a whole network. But in addition to that, you also have reciprocal borrowing privileges if you have a library card from your town in Connecticut. So you get a card from your town that you reside in. Once you have that, you can go to any library in Connecticut and still borrow materials, most materials, especially physical items. Some electronic materials, it's a little bit different, but physical items, you can go and visit any of those libraries and borrow things from them. And we have a great system that carts things back and forth. So you can even return them to our library and they'll get back to their home library.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you. That's amazing. So if you're say someone from Summers or Stafford or Suffield or any of the towns that this still area in and any of the shows that channels that we air in Manchester, Meriden, if someone was from those towns and they happen to be visiting somebody in Enfield and they happen to go to the library, they could grab something possibly and then return it back to their library.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. So another thing I think is kind of cool about Enfield, I grew up here, so I kind of boast about it a little bit, the town. Uh, we have a rare thing in Enfield. We have two libraries. That's not a common occurrence in most places. So people might not even know about the second one. Tell us what about the second library in Enfield.
Yeah, we do. We have 2. Actually, for a town this size, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
We have our main branch where I work most of the time, which is on Middle Road, and then we also have the Pearl Street branch, which is also on Pearl Street, which is 110 years old now. The building it was started 110 years ago. Andrew Carnegie gave the town funds to start a library, and it has been a library since then. Still, it's great. It's a small little neighborhood library. It has a lot of great stuff. There's computer access there too, so people can go there for computer to use computers, to print, to bring their own devices. There's Wi-Fi. Um, and there's also materials they can borrow. We have librarians there as well.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the little neighborhood library. I remember that was like the first library in town back when the town started down in that area is where everything started. And then when the new library opened, I still call it the new library, which is weird. But in the Middle Road one, the main library now, uh, so it's kind of expanded. That library is expanded from when it first started to a bigger space that you're in now. What other stuff is there anything coming up in the near future, event wise, that people might want to come check out at the Middle Road Library or the Pearl Street one?
Coming up next at the beginning of next month, it's either the first or second Friday, we will be having a every one first or second Friday of the month that we always have a program for families. We either have a bingo or a movie. April vacation for students is coming up, so we're going to have programs all during that. We're going to have a reptile program. We're going to be doing a program in which we're going to be making potions and learning about the science of potions. We're going to make some slime to take home, which is going to be exciting. The first Wednesday of every month is open mic night, which the library does in conjunction with Enfield's Culture and Arts Commission. And so we have anyone is welcome to come to listen or to perform. And we have a lot of great musicians who do that. So we always have different things going on. We
Yeah, and if anyone is looking for stuff and the stuff I know, there's a lot of stuff I put you on the spot. But to stay tuned when when we're not airing shows here on the channel, we have the community calendar and that the two Lisas, as I call them, send me everything that's going on in the Enfield library system. So you can check out all those events are going on. They're always listed. They're always got something going on. I always like message them randomly. You guys have so many things. I don't know how you keep them all organized. You guys have a lot going on there.
People can also visit our website. It's
Yes.
enfieldpubliclibrary.org, and you can see all of the things that are going on at the main library and at Pearl Street. We do have movies frequently at Pearl Street. You can come and check that out. We also have a Facebook page you can check out, which we put announcements on there as well.
Yeah, and we'll have that listed on the show as we're talking and stuff like that. But as we get towards the ends of wrapping up, what are some of the books like since you're the youth the head children and youth teen services librarian. I had to double check my notes to make sure I said it all correctly. Changes I get it in my head and I can't think of something else. Um, what are some of the books that you enjoyed growing up that you love sharing with kids nowadays?
Well, unfortunately, because of my age, not a lot of those books are left in the library. I will say, like, as I got to be an
I
older
know how that goes.
as I got to be an older student, one of the books that still is in the library that I absolutely loved was Tuck Everlasting, which
Yeah.
it spoke to my soul because I don't know why it had questions about whether or not mortality and
Mm.
very deep ideas about whether living forever would be a great idea or not. Um, right now, what's popular? I love anything by Jory John. They're all funny. The Cool Bean and all the others, the Sour Grape. So many fun books that are out there right now. Just it's amazing. Children's publishing is a, just a gold mine right now.
Yeah, there's always some cool stuff going on. I know some folks I'll tell you about afterwards that I'm gonna give you some names to get some stuff going on. I know some friends of mine are authors and do stuff too, so I'll be dropping those to you later. But so as we close wrapping up, what are some other things that you might want that you want to get out to people to let them know about the library before we wrap up?
I think I've covered a lot of it. Just
Yeah.
please
Okay.
visit us. It's a great
Yeah.
place. If you have children, we also have a playground outside, a really cool modern playground to play at. Plus, we have all of the great stuff in our library. Inside our library, we have a really wonderful play space. So if you're looking for a space to come with your kids on a rainy day or a cold day and you just want to get out of the house, we have all sorts of things. We have kitchen and play food, we have games, we have train tables and puzzles, we have a beautiful light table. We have a lot of great stuff in addition to all of our things that you can borrow.
So yeah, so definitely go over to not just the Enfield Public Library, but any library, wherever your town you live in. Check out your library. It's a huge asset. There's so many things that you can get from there. You can get an instrument, you can get art supplies, you can get books, you get everything. It's the library. Check it out. But thank you for giving us some time today to talk about libraries, and we'll be back next time here on Focus.